Good morning, everyone. Welcome once again to Sunday Morning Arkham. I am Mike, the Wandering Took, and today is the penultimate adventure in my solo run, Amanda Sharp, through the Innsmouth Conspiracy campaign. Well, not much to talk about with deck changes because this is a flashback scenario, meaning that I did not get to spend my 5 XP that I had left over from last game. So my deck is pretty much the same as I was running last time. Please see the previous video to see how that goes. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's almost done, and I'm so sad I couldn't get the Red Glove Band in for this game. So stories so far, we've had two parallel streams. We've had the modern day and the flashback. The flashback is coming back in bits and pieces. Modern day storyline has just been I woke up in a cave, got to the beach, and then got chased through Innsmouth, chased out of Innsmouth, chased to the lighthouse, and then in the lighthouse discovered that the Esoteric Order of Dagon is uh, trying to do something with the tides and the alignment of the planets, and that usual conspiracy stuff. And in the flashback realm, we just have again snippets. We had a snippet where, oh yeah, I did go to Devil Reef to see what was going on. Oh yeah, I did, you know, run through Innsmouth trying to investigate the crazy people that live there to see if any of them had to do anything with the disappearance of Lena Harper. And now, the final memory is that we did actually go to the Esoteric Order of Dagon. So let's find out what happened there. This is Scenario 7, the Lair of Dagon. 1 week before the current day, you stand outside the cracked marble steps leading up to the Masonic Hall of the Esoteric Order of Dagon. All of your evidence has led you here. Whatever is going on in this town, the Order is behind it. You're sure of it. Though their ultimate goal remains a mystery. The town is eerily quiet as you stand before the building's entrance. Once this place might have been impressive and opulent. Years of disrepair and flood damage have reduced it to near ruin. Its once white paint is gray and peeling, and many of the pillars outside the entryway are beginning to crumble. Still, it is one of the more intimidating places in Innsmouth, projecting authority despite its decrepitude. No, not authority. Something darker, a looming, unspoken threat. Are you ready? Agent Dawson asks. His usual calm demeanor has vanished, replaced with a humorless gravity that throws you off guard. This is it. This is where we'll find answers. You're not so sure. Every other lead you followed has led you only to more questions. So we check the campaign log. If the mission was successful, which it was, that means we found Alina Harper. Agent Harper was kidnapped when she got too close to the Order, but interrogating her kidnapper didn't exactly yield the answers you needed. What you know now is that the Order's influence pervades Innsmouth, from important civic figures to everyday citizens. Finances, religion, politics, everything is wrapped up in this cult's business in some way or another. What's worse, many of the town's inhabitants seem to follow the Order with blind, fanatical devotion. So many that you're not sure this is even a functioning town anymore. It's no wonder the people are so hostile toward outsiders. It wasn't until your investigation of Devil Reef that you truly began to peel away the outer layers of Innsmouth and reveal the rot beneath. There you found what the Order was hiding, the monstrous creatures that emerged from the depths and prowled the tidal islands, congregating in prayers to some horrific deity. Perhaps it is even the same Dagon worshipped by the Order. Now, luckily, one of the memories that I recovered was a decision to stick together. That's with Thomas Dawson. So I get to skip to intro 4. Creek. Agent Dawson opens a large door serving as the entrance to the building, and you follow close behind. Inside the halls are dark and eerily still. Only the faint sound of trickling water lingers in the air. I don't like this one bit, Dawson says as the front door closes behind you. He unholsters his gun, turns on his flashlight, and scans the room. We should stay together. Safety in numbers. You nod in agreement. The Order has proven to be very dangerous, and they surely don't want you poking around their headquarters. Alright, setup. So this is a flashback, which means Alina Harper has been removed from my deck. We are using every single key in this campaign. 2 of them are upside down and shuffled. We have a whole bunch of locations. Right now we can only see the above ground locations. The grand entryway the foul corridors, and the third floor hall. And you can think of these as floors of a building. Lots of cards set out of play. Now, here's the fun part. This is a catch-up mechanic. Under memories recovered, we have 8 memories, which means I got to add 5 curse tokens to the chaos bag right off the bat. Lovely. We have an encounter with a secret cult listed under the memories, so that helps build our agenda deck. Same with the decision to stick together. But because of that decision, we actually start with Thomas Dawson in play. That's really handy. The +1 will, +1 fist is going to be great. And after an enemy attacks an investigator at your location, even if it was cancelled, I can exhaust him to draw a card. I like drawing cards. I'm going to stick him on top of the Miskatonic archaeology funding, just as a reminder that I can still put out those 2 lab assistants when I get them. I also put out, I've had this for a while, but I'm putting out now the Teachings of the Order. This is where did I get this? An objective card that I earned, must have been in Too Deep in the 3rd scenario. It's got a bunch of once per campaign stuff listed here, like remove all curse tokens from the chaos bag, remove a flood token, defeat a non-elite enemy at your location, things like that. Perhaps if I'd remember to do that in Devil Reef, actually the enemy one might have come in handy. Don't think it would have helped, but, well, at any rate, we've got all 3 choices available to us, and we might use the curse one. I don't remember a whole lot about this scenario. This one seems to just kind of fly by for me, but the shtick here is that they're going to be throwing curses everywhere. Let's see. So the good news is I don't have most of these special tokens in my chaos bag anymore. I do have the skulls, which are now -1 for each key on this card. We'll get to that. And I have 1 cultist, which is 0. Reveal an additional token. If you've revealed 1 or more curse tokens, it's an autofail. So fun stuff. The keys. In this one, you spend keys, and there's no takesies backsies. Once you spend them, they're done, and they make everything harder. But the keys do glorious things, which we'll get to in a sec. Agenda 1A, the initiation. The interior of the old Masonic Hall is eerily quiet, aside from the distant plink of dripping water and the creaking of the building under the weight of your feet. You get the feeling that your arrival may have been expected. So again, this is a flood token scenario. So if I'm at a fully flooded location when my turn begins, I struggle for air. And if I did not reach an unflooded or partially flooded location, I take 5 direct damage. Don't want to do that. I've got 6 doom. Act 1A, the first oath. We all had to take the oath of Dagon, and later on the second and third oaths that some on us took. Each suspect enemy gains an additional health, loses aloof, cannot be parlayed with. I can spend either the blue, white, red, or yellow key to discard each obstacle card attached to my location. And I get to advance if I am at the grand entryway and have unlocked the entrances to the cave. And it looks like to do that, I have to spend 3 clues and the purple key to remember that I've unlocked the entrance to the caves. All right, I think we're ready to start. So draw my opening hand here. Dream Enhancing Serum is great. Curiosity, Vicious Blow, Shortcut, Nihilism is going to get replaced, and a Mag Glass. Wow. What am I? I'm keeping the Dream Enhancing Serum, and I'm tossing all the rest. So we've got a Mind Over Matter, Cryptic Research, another Mind Over Matter. Lucky me. Another Dream Enhancing Serum. Really? That's not a fantastic draw. Not at all. At least I have my serums to get me started here. This is kind of funny, actually. Well, I do have my card draw on me, so as we learned last time, the faster I'm able to draw cards, the better I will be in the end. So let us begin the investigator phase. I flip the first card in my deck. It is a Whispers from the Deep. Fun. Okay, so that has to be the card I put under Amanda. Amanda is now useless on turn 1. That's awesome. Let's use my cryptic research to see, to grab 3 cards. See if I can do anything better this turn. Okay, so the good news is I have a Vicious Blow. We're going to put that in my back pocket. I've got 2 of these Mind Over Matters. Again, back pocket, rainy day. I've got a couple Dream Enhancing Serums. I've got a Practice Makes Perfect and a Promise of Power. So, given... Yikes, what a weird setup. Well, I'm going to start by spending 3. We're going to get a Dream Enhancing Serum out because we do like our card draw. I don't have enough money for the other one. I'm very useless this turn. Maybe I just move to get a lay of the land. Hall of Blood. After it's revealed, you place the set-aside red key on it. Okay. After I fail a skill test while investigating this, I take a horror. That's not good. I'm actually going to take a lot of horror already in this because I draw through my deck really fast. It's got 1 clue. So for my last action, no, I'm not going to investigate. I'm going to draw a card because card draw is good. And we have an Inquiring Mind. That will come in handy. I always like to see at least 1 skill here that I can tuck underneath Amanda. I don't want to have to be forced to put something subpar underneath her. So that's a slow start, but here we go. Upkeep. I've drawn Obscure Studies. Like to see that. We have another resource. We've got our first of 6 Doom up on the agenda. And my bad card is a Priest of Dagon. Spawns at an empty location. When it would be defeated or evaded, if there is no Doom on it. Oh, okay, so this is one of the, yeah. If there's no Doom on this guy and I kill him, then we put Doom on him. And he heals. But at the end of the round, if he is ready and there is no Doom on him, you put Doom on him. So I cannot kill him this round, but he's a good thing to kill, say, in 2 rounds. Now, if everything goes well, I want to be at the first floor hall at the end of this turn. Not necessarily interested in taking attacks from him, so I'm going to stick him right there at the foul corridors. He spawns at an empty location. That's good enough for me. Something else to note here. It looks like my goal is the 3rd floor hall, which I cannot move to unless I've unlocked the 3rd floor. Don't know how to do that yet. Beginning of the investigation phase, drawing into Eureka. No, maybe I did want to put this here because then I could throw out my 2nd Dream Enhancing Serum. Yeah, I'm going to backtrack that. Just because I realized I can start spending my money and making good things happen. Let's spend all $3. Put out my 2nd Dream Enhancing Serum. Oh, I had to put a card underneath her. That's going to be Inquiring Mind. Which means now I am a 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm already up by 2. That's good. I think I'm going to throw a Eureka in the mix. So let's go up by 3. I might fail this. Yeah, so there's one of my 5 curses in the bag. And -3. So I did fail. Too bad I lost that Eureka. But I also took a curse out of the bag. Which means I failed, so I'm taking a horror. That wasn't good. That wasn't good. What is this thing? I exhaust this to remove things from the chaos bag. Okay, I'm going to be really, really cheeky. Do I have a fast action window after I commit cards to a skill test? I think I do. I don't know. I was thinking, like, can I pitch Promise of Power and then get rid of all my curse tokens? That'd be funny. That'd be really funny. What am I up by? I'm up by 2. Well, There we go. That's -0. I get a clue. I get a key. And that's the end of my turn. Okay, let's do upkeep. Nihilism. Oh yeah, look at that. Now if I draw the auto fail, I take a damage and a horror. It's the end of the round, so we'll put a doom on this Priest of Dagon. Put another doom on the agenda. Drawing into Fulfill the Oaths. If it is Act 1, test Agility 3. Act 2, test Agility and Strength. Act 3, test Agility, Strength, and Book. For each of these tests you fail, take a damage. Well, let's just do this raw and fail it. Come on, draw curses. Nope, I actually passed. I drew a +1. That would have been a good one to fish out those curses. I say that a lot, don't I? Let's put that on Thomas Dawson. Beginning of the investigation phase, I draw into a magnifying glass. Yeah, where's the rest of my card draw, people? Okay, so I'm going to want to run in there and punch a Priest of Dagon. I think the way I do this... Oh, I should have gotten $1 at the end of my last turn. I'll just spend that $1 right now for magnifying glass. Because that's fast. I can do that. I think I just put a vicious blow under here. Do I? Or do I get this? No, I don't have the money for Mind Over Matter. So we're going to put a vicious blow under her. All right, so... did I even draw my investigation card? Yeah, it was my mag glass. Okay. All right, so we're good. Action 1. Let's move back to the grand entryway. Action 2, we're going to the first floor hall. What do we got here? I can spend a red key as an action to get the the cursed Yenneth statue asset. That's really cool. This starts with partially flooded, starts with 1 clue, another 3 shroud. So this Priest of Dagon is now engaged with me. And I can take a swing at him. I'm going to go totally bonkers here, I think. I think I have to pitch my obscure studies just for the pips. Because what am I? I'm a 3. I'm up by 2. No, I want to be up by 5. There's curses in this bag. Well, apparently I shouldn't have pitched my obscure studies, because he is toast. Okay, so far so good. Going a little slow. Only 4 cards in hand. Just got to draw into more card draw. Drawing into Cryptic Writings, which is not my card draw. A resource. A Doom on the agenda. This is happening way too quickly. Esoteric Ritual. Test for will. If I fail, either choose and discard 2 cards from your hand or discard an asset you control. If 1 or more curse tokens are revealed in this test, do both instead. Well, okay, here we go. Let's just fail this test. -2. I don't want to discard an asset necessarily. I don't really care so much about some of these. I'm going to get rid of Mind Over Matter. We'll get rid of Promise of Power. Beginning of the investigation phase, I draw into a shortcut. Okay, that's great to see. Really looking for those lab assistants. Maybe that dream diary, hey? I have to put something underneath her. That's going to be Cryptic Writings. Because 2 pips. I'm going to spend the red key. Well, no, maybe I investigate first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on a 3. I think this is where I use practice makes perfect. because I got to kickstart this deck somehow. And if I can dig through here and grab, let's see if I can find it here. There we go. So I was hoping for perception. I did not find a leveled up perception, but I found an unrelenting, and that's useful. So this automatically gets pitched to the test. After I commit this, I search the chaos bag for up to 3 non-evil chaos tokens. And if they're all good ones, then I get to draw 2 cards. So yes, I do want that clue, but at the same time, I have 2 cards in hand. So maybe, do I? I can get rid of the -4. I can keep the cultist as long as there's no other curses. I can either do this, get rid of the -4 and the 2 curses, and just leave it like that and get Unrelenting back to my hand. Or I draw 2 cards and hope that I pass. It's tough because I feel like I do want to get a move on. I think I do this for now. At least if I pass, it goes back to my hand, right? All right, so we got a cultist. So there's, what, 1 more curse left in the bag? Don't draw the curse. -1. Okay, that's enough. So these all go back to the bag. Unrelenting goes back to my hand because I passed that test. I grab a clue. I will then spend the red key. So we're doing it in that order so that the skulls weren't awful. And I get this set aside toy. Just a moment here. Okay, so that is the Innsmouth statue cursed side up. So I can exhaust it, add 2 curses to the chaos bag to deal a damage to a humanoid, or spend the blue, white, red, and yellow key to ready the statue and flip it to its other side. I definitely want to do that. So that was action 1, I believe. Action 2, I'm going to move to the grand entryway. Action 3? No, I'm going to move up to the foul corridors for action 3. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to get a big turn going next turn. Okay, so I foul corridors, 2 shrouds, 0 clues. I can spend the black key to unlock the 3rd floor. I'm going to shortcut. Let's find out what is over here. Forced. After you reveal the Hall of Rebirth, draw the set-aside Apostle of Dagon enemy. Oh, that's not good. Yep, kind of forgot that was a thing. Look, I've got the Apostle of Dagon, who's got a black key and has 4 health. Fun. Whenever I deal a damage to the Apostle of Dagon, I add a curse to the Chaos bag. Ooh, that was very poor timing. Wish I'd remembered that happened. Okay, end of round. Looks like I'm taking a damage and a horror. Stick a horror on Thomas Dawson. I'll take the damage. I'll draw a card. It is a perception. Yeah, now I draw a perception. Okay, let's see. Drawing stone barrier. Attach to the nearest location without a stone barrier. While it is ready, investigators cannot move. Okay, so I am stuck here. I cannot move. We have 1 clue, 2 shroud, so I'm not allowed to move here unless I pass a Fleetness 1, Fist 2, or Book 3 test. And that just exhausts the barrier. And I've got this Apostle of Dagon on me. Okay. Well, here we go. We've got a copy of Unrelenting. This is very unfortunate. This is where foreknowledge is great. I would have kept my my vicious blow for this. So what can I do? I do have mind over matter. I do have perceptions. Okay, here's what's going to happen. If I hit at this thing 4 times, that just takes a lot of time and puts 4 curses in the bag. So I'm going to stick perception underneath Amanda. And we're going to play, it's a fast action, mind over matter. We're all good. So I'm a 3, 4, 5, evading a 2. +1. This thing is evaded. I'll have to grab that key from it later. I grabbed 2 cards because perception went off. Hello, there's a vicious blow. I am now going to investigate this location. I am a 6. You know what? I think I pitch an unrelenting. Just to get some more card draw going. So we are going to get rid of a Elder Sign, a 0, and a +1 to immediately draw 2 cards. Deduction and a Lab Assistant. And I realized I probably should have drawn 2 cards for drawing that second, what was it, Unrelenting. I totally missed out on that. That was this turn, wasn't it? Yeah, what the heck, I'll just do it. Remember when I drew that second Unrelenting? I should have had 2 extra cards in my hand. From the Dream Enhancing Serums. That's the Curiosities and the Shortcuts. Okay, so I have to draw a token that's a -2, which puts me at a 4. 4 on a 2, which means I get the clue. And I draw 2 cards for perception, drawing into another perception and a dream diary. Good. Not. Now I'm going to start losing cards because I'm over my hand size and I don't have my lab assistants on me. So I'm going to take $1 for my last action. And I think that was really good. That gets everything going. So Priest of Dagon wakes up, joins me. I get a resource. I draw a card. It is a Cryptic Writings. I discard 2 cards from my hand. That's going to be Cryptic Writings, and I think a Promise of Power. I think. Am I going to need that Promise of Power? What is the attack on this thing? It's a 2. I think I'm okay without it. I think I'm okay. All right. We have 5 of 6 Doom. Drawing into locked doors. Well, now we have locked doors. Location with the most clues without a locked door. Well, this already has a stone barrier, so now we have a locked door on it too. That's great. Beginning of my turn, I find a magnifying glass. We are going to put a vicious blow underneath Amanda Sharp. Let's see what this says. So I add a curse right after I attack this thing. So I am going to, oh boy. Okay, I'm going to start this fight. I'm a 5 fight now, thanks to Thomas Dawson. I'm going to start with Unrelenting. To remove some bad tokens. Some curses and the -4s. So odds are pretty darned awesome. Yeah, 0. So ideal, what was I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with a 0. I succeeded by 3. I'm actually surprised I did that. Which means I deal 3 damage to the Apostle. I put a curse token back in the bag. I think this is a great time to maybe use that Teachings of the Order, perhaps? Perhaps? That's a lot of curses in the bag. I don't like that. Let's just get rid of them. Yeah, that's 5 curses. I'm using my once per campaign special power to remove every curse from the bag. This is gone, which means now I'm attacking raw for 5, and this is a much nicer chaos bag. +1. This thing is dead. I've dealt 1 or more damage, so I do add a curse to the chaos bag. Then the enemy gets defeated. Alright, so that's gone. I have a black key. The Apostle of Dagon is in the victory display. I'll throw that up here, out of view. Whew, that's 2. And then for my third and final action, I am popping out a lab assistant, which will let me draw 2 cards. Practice makes perfect. And a cryptic research. Which I don't need to play just yet. Okay, no, I'm thinking about my next turn. I don't want to overdraw my cards right now. We'll save that till next turn. This is all looking really good. So, end of my turn, I draw into another lab assistant. I gain a resource. And we have Doomed Out on the initiation. In a flooded hall of the Order, you come across an onyx statue depicting a creature similar to the ones you saw in Devil Reef. Just as you are pondering the nature of its existence, you hear faint chanting up ahead. Yinathlay, Yinathlay. Before you can interpret the strange symbols, there's a splash behind you. You hide and hold your breath as the figures approach. The gentle sloshing of their steps passes and fades into the distance. You shadow the figures, following them to the site of their ritual. Add 2 curses to the chaos bag. Check the campaign log. If a jailbreak is listed, I believe it is. A jailbreak is listed under my memories recovered. I spawn the suspect enemy at a 3rd floor location. Okay, so that goes. Joyce Little spawns at our 3rd floor location. She has what does she have? I think she has 4 health in this one. And we get the blue key on her. Is that something I need for my special object here? I can spend the blue key for that. Okay, good. Happy to see that. Okay, Agenda 2A, what lurks below? Glancing up at the window I had left, I observed it was still dark, though far across the crumbling chimneys to the north, I could see lights ominously blazing in the Order of Dagon Hall. Same forced effect about the flooded locations. Here we go. I draw into Curiosity. Okay, lots happens. So first of all, I have decked myself out, so my lab assistant will take 1 horror. This is my 2nd Curiosity, which means I get to exhaust both dream-enhancing serums to draw 2 cards. And I think we're getting into ridiculous mode now. A Perception and a Whispers from the Deep. Though the unfortunate thing is I have to put Whispers from the Deep underneath me. That's okay. But I want to draw cards. Okay, well, we're going to draw cards anyways, because I need to get out of here. So we are going to spend a Cryptic Research and draw 3 cards. Practice makes perfect. Cryptic Writings, another Cryptic Research. The Cryptic Writings goes away, because I can play it immediately for $2. This is the insanity part. This is the insanity part. Because now I'm going to be drawing like absolute mad. Let's get... Which one do I want out first? That Dream Diary is so darn nice. but I do want that extra lab assistant. Oh, I got to put a card underneath her, don't I? Let's put... Oh, no, Whispers from the Deep is underneath her. That's all right. So let's... Okay, this is messy. I'm probably going to put my hand off camera for the moment and just point out the crazy things when they happen. What matters more? Is it the dream diary or is it the hand size? And I think it might be the hand size. So I'm going to spend $2 for my first action to get out my second lab assistant, drawing another 2 cards. So we have a Mind Over Matter and a Vicious Blow. So I've got enough to keep me going for a while against some really bad guys. I have to get out of here with a Fleetness, Fist, or Book test. And I'm currently down 1s here. I do have a Curiosity. You know what I really want to do is I really want to draw through my shortcuts. So that's how this is going to work. I'm going to pitch a Curiosity to this test. Because I have lots of cards in hand, I am sitting at 12. This gives me 3 book, so I'm currently a 4. 4 book, and I have to... Ooh, that's... All right, we're throwing a Perception underneath here. That's a 7 book. To break through the Stone Barrier. -1, Stone Barrier is exhausted. I will then spend a shortcut. Oh, I draw 2 cards for Perception. Promise of Power, Unrelenting. Let's try to get some organization here. Okay, so I shortcutted back to the main area. I'm going to immediately spend the next Cryptic Research because cards. We have a Eureka, second Unrelenting, and a second Mind Over Matter. So for my actual second action, I will move to the other second floor hall. It has a clue, it has a victory, and I can spend a key, blue, red, white, or yellow, to choose 3 of the following. Add 4 blesses to the bag, gain 3 resources, draw 2 cards, or heal 1 damage. Not going to do that. I think I pitch Curiosity. Practice Makes Perfect isn't going to fish anything out right now that I want. So let's stick an Unrelenting back in the bag because I like taking them out and then using Dream Enhancing Serums. So this will put me out. If I investigate, I'm at a 2 with my Mag Glass. 3, 4, 5, 6 with Unrelenting, which is not enough. So I'm going to take out a -4 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we got to get rid of some of these. So the curses themselves aren't so bad. It's that bloody cultist. Unrelenting seems like cheating sometimes. Let's throw Eureka in there. Just to mitigate that -3 and maybe draw a card that I want. Yep, -3. Glad I pitched that. So these will go back to the bag. I get the clue. Eureka goes off. I get to search the top 3 cards for something and add it to my hand. Inquiring Mind, Obscure Studies, Cryptic Writings. That Inquiring Mind is going to come in real handy, but so is that Obscure Studies. So I'm going to pick Obscure Studies. There's now 4 cards left in my deck. We'll be cycling through that very soon. So what did I do? I got through the Stone Barrier. I shortcutted. I moved and investigated. I don't think I have a shortcut left, so that would be the end of my turn. The stone barrier readies. The serum's ready. I draw into cryptic writings. Boo. Gain a resource. 1 doom out of 6. And my card is locked doors. Guess what? We have a locked door here. What great timing. That's when it really helps to be fast. All right, beginning the investigation phase. I draw into Inquiring Mind. Nice. What am I going to stick underneath her? So if I got this right, Joyce Little has 4 hit points. But I don't have enough movement. I don't have a shortcut to get in there and hit her twice, so I won't. You know, I can actually beat her in 1 blow with Vicious Blow. That'll be nice. Okay, why don't I focus on getting my Dream Diary out? Which means I could just stick a Cryptic Writings underneath her. Underneath Amanda, since it's not really going to matter what I do. First action, I will move. Second action, I will spend 2 resources to get out my Dream Diary. And at this point, I have all of my stuff out that I need. I've got my Dream Diaries, I've got my Magnifying Glass, I've got my Dream Enhancing Serums. This is all looking great. I guess I can start cycling my lab assistants in and out. If I'm taking too much damage or horror, I'm just going to grab $1. Because if anything's going to stop me right now, it's going to be the inability to practice makes perfect. That is the end. In the upkeep phase, I draw a Promise of Power. That is my second Promise of Power. 5. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have room for 2 more cards, so I will Dream Enhancing Serum, drawing into a shortcut, causing me to deck out yet again. So my other lab assistant will take a horror. I've got a very small deck of cards now. That does put a timer on her. Once I get to this point, I really have to win fast or I will take way too much horror. And the second card is an Unrelenting. Okay, what is happening now? I put a Doom on, draw a card. It is Fulfill the Oaths. This is a test something, and I take a damage if I fail. I think I'm just going to test my 3 fleetness, and if I fail, maybe I'll shuffle a lab assistant back. Cultist, let's draw another token. Curse, okay, that's an auto fail, but I still have to draw another token. Skull, -1. So that's -3 in total. A curse is gone. That is considered an auto fail because I drew a curse and a cultist. I will deal a damage to a lab assistant. Beginning of the investigation phase, I draw into Cryptic Research. And I need to put a card underneath her. It's going to be a Vicious Blow. This is going to be fun. Okay, let's do a Cryptic Research. Draw 3 cards, because cards are fun. Whispers from the Deep, another Vicious Blow, and a Cryptic Writings, so I immediately get to play that for 2 resources. Great to have the Whispers from the Deep out now, so that I can play it and get it out of my hand. I'm going to start by playing Shortcut. To move up to the 3rd floor. Oh, I have to spend a key. Yeah, I have to spend a key. That's an action. Then I shortcut out. Man, I should have just done that last turn. All right. After it's revealed, you place the purple key on it. After I fail a skill test here, I put a curse in the bag. Eek. So Joyce Little is here with a key with 4 hit points. If I succeed by a lot, I can start doing some really fun stuff. So I want to... I can do 1, 2, 3. I could pitch 2 vicious blows to this. I've got almost no deck, which means I'll draw back into them very soon. So I am currently a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I pitch a second vicious blow, that puts me up at 7. Because I have my Dream Diary out, I also have this fun Essence of the Dream in my hand. So why don't I pitch Whispers from the Deep as well for a -1, and then Essence of the Dream for a +4. So that total is a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm a 10 on a 5. I do not want to mess this up. 10 on a 5? Yeah, 10 on a 5 is good. 0, whatever. So I dealt so much damage that I take her out in 1 hit. She is victory 0. So that was 2 actions, 1 to open the door, 1 to hit. And for my last action, I'm going to spend the blue key and flip this statue. What does this let me do? As a free action, I can deal a damage to a humanoid at my location. Yeah. I can also exhaust this thing as a free action to remove 2 curses from the Chaos bag and replace them with an equal number of Bless tokens. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to take these 2 curses out of the bag, and I'm going to replace them with Blesses. I think that was worthwhile. End of my turn. I do upkeep. What have I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I am at my max hand size as far as my Dream Enhancing Serums care. Oh, I should have another dollar here. That's another doom on the agenda. I draw Heralds of the Deep. I test 3 will. 5 if my location is flooded. For each point I fail by, add a Chaos token to the Chaos bag. I want to fail this. I want to fail this hard, because then I can just turn them back into Blesses with this nice little statue that I grabbed. Will says Blesses sink to the bottom of the bag. Well, we'll find out. So, oh no, I don't want to draw Blesses for this one. -1. Okay, so I that's a +1. I actually pass. Okay, so there's a Bless out of the bag. Will says that Blesses normally sink to the bottom of the bag only when you want to draw them. When you don't want to draw them, yeah, they pop right back out. It would have been nice to fail that. Oh well. Beginning of the investigation phase, I draw into a shortcut. Love me those shortcuts. I get to put something underneath Amanda. Well, we do like our card draw, don't we? Let's throw Perception underneath her. And let's do pitch an Unrelenting as well. We are going to take out some good things. Let's take out a Bless. I believe that counts. Yep. Take out a Bless. Let's take out a 0, and let's take out a +1 to immediately draw 2 cards. It is a Cryptic Research and a Eureka. So I am a 6, 7 on a 4. Is that enough? Let's Inquiring Mind too. 10 on a 4. -4. Gets me a clue. Gets me 2 cards for Perception, which is a Perception and a Curiosity. I have decked myself out, so I take a Horror. And my 2 Dream Enhancing Serums go off because I just drew my second Curiosity. Drawing into another shortcut and another Cryptic Research. Do you see what's happening? Do you see what's happening? Is this not utterly bonkers? Oh yeah, I also have this Essence of the Dream in my hand, don't I? Okay, so I do get the purple key. Let's spend a shortcut to move down here. And you know what? I do have another shortcut in here, don't I? Yes, I do. Let's spend that second shortcut to move down here. I can spend 3 clues for my second action to unlock the entrance to the caves. And I have to spend the purple key to do that. So skulls are now -4. I gotta keep an eye on that. All right. So I should have 1 action left after this. I now get to advance to the next stage. Each of the Order's chambers are devoted to an aspect of their grand scheme, the secret that lies at the foundation of the Order, the poison that dwells in the roots beneath of Innsmouth. But whatever that secret is, it's just beyond your grasp, at least until the moment you discover the truth behind the building itself. It is nothing but a cover for the Order's true headquarters. As you unlock the pathway that leads into the cavernous depths beneath the building, you wonder what secrets could possibly dwell below. If there's a suspect enemy in play, remove it from the game. No, not in play. I remove all of these locations. And if anything has victory on it, I add it to the victory display. That should be these 2. Get added to the victory display. All these cards go away. These get discarded. We keep the grand entryway. Shuffle the tidal tunnels. And put each of them into play. Increase the flood level of each location, and then I shuffle the set aside syzygy and tidal alignment cards into the encounter deck along with the discard pile. So just a bit of some setup I gotta do now. We have 4 brand new treacheries to get added to this. So that lovely Priest of Dagon is coming back. Put each of the tidal tunnels into play, hey? That should be 7, unless I'm missing one somewhere. They all get an increase to their flood level. After all, the tide is rising, remember? Act 2, the second oath. You descend into the caverns beneath the Order of Dagon's headquarters, unaware of the horrific fate that awaits you in the depths. I can spend the blue, red, white, or yellow key to discard obstacles again. Okay, something I am missing here. How do I actually get to the tidal tunnels? Okay, so this is done. Shuffle the set aside tidal tunnel locations and put each of them into play. I assume I can just go to any of these tidal tunnels? Is that how this works? I am missing the connections. I've discarded each of the other locations. I'm just going to check the other cards here. What am I missing? How do I get from the Grand Entry Hall down to the tidal tunnels? Am I supposed to reveal them? But instead to shuffle them and put them into play. Something's amiss. Well, I'm going to assume that the designers didn't want me just like sitting here twiddling my thumbs for a bunch of rounds. So I'm going to say I can go from the Grand Entry Hall to these tidal tunnels. It's interesting, though, that they don't mention what the connection rules are for those things. And they don't offer a way to put them into play. Like there's no specific geometry they want. Okay, well, here we go. So that would be... I think I said I did 2 actions. Yeah, because I investigated, shortcutted twice, then unlocked the final depths. And for my last action, I'm going to head down into this tidal tunnel. Gets +1 shroud. Well, partially flooded, and +3 shroud. Sorry, +2 shroud while it's fully flooded. I'm just going to do this. After it's revealed, I put a random key on it. It has shroud 3 and 1 clue. And that is the end of my turn. So I draw into a vicious blow. Now, I only have a hand size of 10 right now. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have to get rid of 4 cards. I'm going to get rid of an Essence of the Dream. Ha ha ha. A Eureka. Mag Glass. I'll keep the deduction. I'm actually going to get rid of a Vicious Blow. Why Vicious Blow? Because I have another one in my deck, and I have Practice Makes Perfect, which means I can dig it out. Wait a second. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Okay, so Doom on the agenda. We have 4 of 6. Drawing into another Esoteric Ritual. Test for will. If I fail, either choose and discard 2 cards from your hand, or discard an asset I control. That is a -2, so I failed. Yeah, look at that. I get to discard 2 cards from my hand. It's going to be Promises of Power. They're not as useful right now. They're more early game stuff. Remember, I don't like curses. Wait a second. I do like curses. I do like curses. This could be fun. No, I'm taking these Promises of Power back, because now that I have that fun little toy, okay, I'm going to get rid of 1 Practice Makes Perfect and 1 Mind Over Matter instead. That way I can maximize my possibility of dream-enhancing serums. And then at the beginning of the investigation phase, I draw into a Vicious Blow. Well, okay. Is what it is. Beginning, I am first going to Cryptic... Oh, no, I have to choose a card to put underneath me. I do have a Perception. Kicking out my other Perception. So now I'm going to pitch a Cryptic Research to draw 3 cards. We have 2 copies of Cryptic Writings and a Lab Assistant. Those 2 copies of Cryptic Writings will net me $5. I'm going to use this, start using these special ones. 1, 2, 3. These silver ones are worth 3 coins each. I'm going to throw out my second Lab Assistant for 2 of those dollars. Pulling in a Whispers of the Deep, emptying my deck, which means that Lab Assistant's immediately grabbing a Horror, and drawing into 1 last card. It is a Practice Makes Perfect, which I can Dream Enhancing Serum and draw 2 more cards. Eureka, Vicious Blow. Fun stuff, hey? Let us begin. Second action, I am going to be investigating my current location. Might as well toss a Eureka. Let's toss a Whispers from the Deep. I do have my Essence of the Dream in hand. Can't forget about that. I think I do my Promise of Power shtick? Let's do my Promise of Power shtick. I'm throwing in 8. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm a 14 on a 3. -4. I succeed by lots. So I draw 2 cards. We have a Mind Over Matter and a Cryptic Research. I get the clue. I can pick up this key, which is the yellow key. And I can exhaust my statue to search the bag for those 2 curses that I just put in there and replace them with 2 pluses. Does that seem like cheating? Yeah, a little bit. Okay, let's spend a Cryptic Research to draw 3 cards. I have an Inquiring Mind, an Unrelenting, and another Cryptic Writings. Yes, that's how fast this is going. Let's use my second Cryptic Research to draw 3 more cards. We have a Shortcut, a Perception, and a Mag Glass. Let's start by spending a Shortcut. I have to find the final depths, hey? Okay, so we're going... Let's go to this tidal tunnel location. This cannot be fully flooded. It has 2 clues on it and a 4 shroud. I know what to do here. This is why I've been saving a deduction, of all things. So for my last action, I'm going to investigate. I'm a 6, 7. I'll spend Essence of the Dream for an 11 on a 4. -3. I pick up 2 clues. And I draw 2 cards because Perception. Drawing into a Shortcut and a Cryptic Writings. The Cryptic Writings will immediately be spent for 2 resources. I have just emptied my deck again, so that's twice in a turn. So I take a horror for that. Oh yes, this is grand. How many cards are in my deck here? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 cards. So my practice makes perfect can basically hit anything I want. And I might as well shortcut, since I can, to this tidal tunnel location, which is the same. Put a key down, put a clue on, and it has +1 shroud while it's partially flooded. That's the end of my turn. Everything readies. Draw into a Cryptic Writings. Gain a resource. I'm sitting at 11. We are at 5 of 6 Doom. Drawing into Secret Gathering, I add a curse token to the bag. And then I test 4 Will. If I fail, place a Doom on each cultist enemy and take a horror. Yeah, I can just fail. I mean, why don't I just spend a Curiosity? I can. It's not like I'm not drawing buttloads of cards every turn. In fact, I can spend probably 2 of these Curiosities and be up by 4. Auto fail. Oh boy. And I am nihilistic, so that hurts a lot. That is actually 2 horror and 1 damage that I take. So let's put 1 horror on a lab assistant, knocking her out. A 2nd horror on me, and a damage on me. Ooh, that was painful. That was really painful. Suppose it had to happen eventually. All right, let's draw into a Promise of Power. Okay, so I have to put something underneath her. That is going to be a 2nd Perception. Do love me this Perception. No, let's do Unrelenting. Just to keep these dream-enhancing serums fresh. Essence of the Dream comes back to my hand. And I am ready to do this. So we're going to start by, for Unrelenting, getting rid of some good tokens here. Let's get rid of 3 blesses with Unrelenting. I will put in a promise of power to put in a curse. I am going to be investigating, so I am currently a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on a 4, which is pretty darned good. Might as well spend my cryptic writings to be up by 6. Up by 4 because of a curse and a 0. Okay, so unfortunately that got a curse out of the bag. Don't like that. Don't like that. But I get to draw 2 cards for, for that unrelenting, which was a promise of power and a cryptic writings. Okay, so I have this clue. I grab this key. It is the white key. There's only one key left. I'm going to use cryptic research to draw 3 cards fast. I get a Eureka, a cryptic research, and a cryptic writings. Rinse and repeat. So we're going to grab 2 resources for the cryptic writings. We're going to use the other cryptic research to draw cards. Whispers from the Deep, deduction, shortcut. I have decked myself out yet again. I am at 4 horror of 7. Maybe I should slow down. Slow down? What are you talking about? All right. I am going to shortcut to move down here. Doorway to the depths. After it's revealed, set aside green key on the location with the most clues. Well, that is now this location. Investigators at the doorway of the depths can spend the green key and 3 clues as an action to unlock the final depths. All right, so I should have 2 actions left. Action 1 is we're going to investigate. I got to get rid of that Whispers from the Deep. I'm going to use Perception and Essence of the Dream. I'm going to get rid of those 3 Bless tokens with the Unrelenting that's underneath me to draw 2 cards. I am really, really fishing for that. Really fishing for my other lab assistant. Do I have any duplicates in there? I don't, so I don't get to draw cards for the serums just yet. So this is a 4, 5, 6 with Whispers from the Deep, 7, 8. I'm a 10 on a 5. We're going to go 11 on a 5. Cultist. I think there's one other curse. -4. That's still a pass. So I draw. I'm going to use Eureka first. Dig for my lab assistant. Done. And then I'm going to draw 2 cards. It is a Curiosity and a Cryptic Research. These will get discarded. These will go back in the bag. I've got the clue. I've got the green key. As my final action this turn, I'm going to throw out the second lab assistant because oh boy, do I ever need some horror soak. And drawing into 2 copies of Cryptic Writings, which means another $4. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna now introduce you to this big golden token, which is a $10 token. Not that I really need money anymore. Okay, so end of my turn, I draw into a Curiosity. Okay, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have to discard basically 2 cards worth. Yeah, okay, so I'm not going to trigger my Dream Enhancing Serums because I don't want to take all that horror right now. We're going to remove... Yeah, remove a Promise of Power. Although, like I said, I do like those. And Must be another single copy of something. It's going to be a mag glass. There we go. All right, we advance. Advance the agenda. The silence that pervades the building retreats as sinister chanting rises from the depths, each uncanny syllable a reminder of the Order's inhuman origins. What was once the rhythmic drip, drip, drip of trickling water is now a distant, resounding roar of rushing floodwater. But there's also something else, the rumbling of something enormous, something that stirs under the bedrock. Add 4 curse tokens to the bag. Final agenda. The ritual advances. The building rumbles to its foundations. Something sinister is happening deep below the halls of the Order of Dagon. If you don't stop it, who knows what may be unleashed. And the exact same flooded location thing. Don't be at a fully flooded location, it says. Drawing my bad card is a stone barrier, which would be right here. I am at a stone barrier. Beginning of the investigation phase. I draw into a cryptic research. I have to slip something underneath me. Let's make this. This is a tough one. Because I don't actually remember what I'm facing down there, so we are going to throw down an unrelenting. First action. I'm going to spend 3 clues and the green key to unlock the final depths. Which means we get to advance the act. The more you explore the caverns, the more alien and inhuman the architecture becomes. Soon it feels like you've crossed the threshold of another world entirely. It is reminiscent of the ruins you saw beneath Devil Reef, but those depths are miles from here, right? Or is this network of caves so vast it spans the entirety of Innsmouth? Soon you come upon a grand set of doors in the center of the web of gilded corridors. Many other paths stem from this hall, but it is this door, and this strange heavy breathing that thrums throughout the walls and the floor, that calls to you. So we put there's a special location we throw into play here, the Lair of Dagon. And it is fully flooded. We put the set-aside Dagon enemy into play. Steep in slumber side face up at the Lair of Dagon. If it is agenda, what is it? It is agenda 3, so I don't have, if it's agenda 1 or 2, you start adding curses in the bag so that the encounter deck can catch up. So it's a good thing we advanced. Finally, the third oath. Act 3. The Order's final secret lies just beyond this door. The entity to which the Order's service is pledged. The creature that holds them in its clutches. The conspiracy beating heart. I can spend keys to discard an obstacle. Yeah. My objective is to disrupt the Order's ritual by placing clues on this act. If there are 3 clues on this act, I advance. Uh-huh. Well. Here we go. Here we go. Let's, what should I test? I do have this lovely obscure studies. I can test 1 fleetness, right? So if I tap the statue, I can remove 2 curses from the bag, replacing it with 2 blessed. I can put 3 blessed tokens out for unrelenting to immediately draw 2 cards as I try to get through the stone barrier. We have a promise of power, so I put a horror on a lab assistant because guess what? I got through my deck again. And a cryptic writings, which I will immediately spend for 2 more dollars. So what does that put me up at? If I pitch this, I'm a 3, 4, 5, 6 on a 1. 6 on a 1. There are 3 curses in the bag and a whole bunch of blesses. -2. The stone barrier is exhausted. I will then use a shortcut to zip into this Lair of Dagon. Or can I? Yes, I can. This is connected to the Lair of Dagon. Okay, we have 3 clues. It is victory 1, 3 shroud. After I enter, I have to test my lowest skill at 3. If I fail, take a horror. Right. And I can test will 3 or fleetness 3. If I succeed, place one of my clues on the current act. You may spend 1 key to place 1 more of your clues on the current act. I see. I see. So if I can slurp up these clues, I get a victory point, and then I just need 2 tests to get through this. I can do that. Let us begin by spending curiosity to get through this will test. -3, so I barely succeed. Oh wait, sorry. My usual, here's the 3 tokens I took out for unrelenting. I actually succeeded by 2. Drawing into Mag Glass and unrelenting. So I succeeded that one. I have 1 more action left here. I'm going to use a deduction. And I'm going to spend my, where is it? I should have my Essence of the Dream still, which is a 4, 5, drawing 2 cards. One of them's a cryptic writing, so I have yet more money. One of them is Whispers from the Deep, so I'm going to pitch that to the test. And let's get rid of an Inquiring Mind. So that is 2 plus 4 is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 to a 3. 8 to a 3 minus 4 is a 4 to a 3. How does deduction read? Oh, this is just low-level deduction, isn't it? Yeah, I just have to succeed, which I did, so I grabbed 2 clues. Yes. Well, that is the end of my turn. And yes, I am deeply aware that I am currently at a fully flooded location. Let's ready up the statue. Dagon is sleeping. Oh, hey, I didn't even read this. Dagon is slumbering, but if I fail a skill test, I place a resource on him. Then if there's at least 3 resources, I flip Dagon, assuming I wake up. All right, drawing into a Promise of Power. How many cards do I have? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can afford to use the Dream Enhancing Serums. Draw into a Eureka and another shortcut. Okay, beginning of my turn. Oh no, I have to doom. Or end of my turn. I did that. We get a resource. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Put all those together. I have 20 resources underneath me. Doom on the agenda. Peril, Syzygy. I must decide. Each investigator loses 3 resources, takes 2 horror, or place a doom on the agenda. Well, I'm losing 3 resources. That's totally fine with me. Beginning of my turn, I draw the last card of my deck, taking a horror. It is a perception. Let's see. I have to test a will or a fleetness 3. So I don't see the point of putting anything underneath me except a curiosity. So the curiosity will bump out the unrelenting. So for my first action, I'm going to pitch a perception. I am going to do this investigation test. -1. So I draw 2 cards. It is a shortcut. That's what I wanted. And another curiosity. Most importantly, I have this clue. So then I can shortcut once back to the doorway. I have to do a fleetness test. So I am going to do a fleetness test. I am going to be a 6, putting a curse in the bag. Yeah, because I'm up by 5, right? Okay. Uh-oh. That's a cultist. Don't draw a curse. That's a bless. -1. Okay, so the bless goes out. And this stone barrier is now exhausted. Now, if I check the bag, I should have... Yep, I got 3 curses. So I'm going to exhaust my statue to take out 2 of those curses and put in another couple bless. So if you've been keeping track, because I know you have, I should have 6 blesses in the bag. So I have done, by my count, 2 things. I have investigated and I have done this stone barrier test. I'm going to shortcut back into the Lair of Dagon, where I have to do this will test again. Let's spend a Eureka. Why not? What am I at? 3, 6, 7. 7 on a 3. -5 is a fail. Okay, so I take a horror. Or rather, my lab assistant takes a horror. And expires. And we now have a resource on Dagon. Let's put a big bad resource on him. Because I failed a skill test. Yikes. And I will then do one of these tests here. So I've got an Essence of the Dream, which is worth 4. I've got my Curiosity, which is worth 3. So that's a 7, 8, 9, 10 with Thomas Dawson. And this is a... That's a 10 on a 3. That is pretty good. Is it? 10 on 3. Yeah, let's just do my other curiosity. Let's see. Curse. Elder Sign. Okay, so we have curse out of the bag. But I can spend... I place 1 of my clues on the current act. I need 3. I don't want to spend a key just yet, because that's just going to make the skulls worse. And that's my turn. End of round. Everything ready. Drawing into Inquiring Mind. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards, which is fine. I grab a resource, not that it even matters anymore. Let's put a 3 of 6 Doom on the agenda, and I have an Esoteric Ritual again. Okay. Testing for will. If I fail, I discard 2 cards from my hand. Yeah, we're doing that. We're just going to fail this. Yes, I realize it's going to be... Ooh, nope, because I have 4 pips underneath me. I'm actually pretty good already. 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm a 6 on a 4. I don't want to fail this because of Dagon's right here, right? What if I practice makes perfect? What does that do? Do I have anything in here that's... Let me just check to see if I have a... Nope, there's no point. I don't have anything in there. So I'm going to unrelenting this. And we're going to pull out some bad tokens. Mainly, I want to pull out the -4 and pull out that darned cultist. And here's the -3. So that is a very safe chaos bag right now. Drawing a skull, which is a -5. Okay, so what was I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 -5 is 2. Okay, so I did fail. Yeah, I failed spectacularly. Why didn't I put the skulls in there? That was dumb of me. It's because I'm not thinking of skulls being absolutely awful. So we got a second one of these on them. And I discard 2 cards from my hand. Let's discard the Vicious Blows, because I don't actually need the Vicious Blows. All right, let's just do it. Let's just finish this off. Let's go drawing 3 cards with a Cryptic Research. Whispers from the Deep, Cryptic Writings, which I'll spend for, money. And let's just do this. I want to do a... Oh, hang on. Those... I think I had to put a card underneath me. I actually didn't have anything decent. Let's put a Promise of Power. Promise of Power underneath her. Yeah. Okay. We have a Promise of Power underneath her. That would have been the card I drew at the beginning of the investigation phase. Yeah. So I'm a 4, 5, 6, 7 will right now. If I pitch Essence of the Dream, I'm an 11 will. Yeah, I'm an 11 willpower. Let's not fail this. -1. I am going to spend the white key to put on 2 clues on the act. We now have 3 clues on the act. We can advance. A sudden stillness permeates the chamber. The only sound you hear is the gentle rippling of the reflecting pool inside the cult's hidden lair, and the pounding of your own heart in your chest as you struggle to understand what you have seen. Whatever ritual the Order was performing has been disrupted by your hand, but Agent Dawson does not look relieved. Okay, right, he says through choked breaths. His hands shake as he lowers his weapon. Come on quickly, we have another task to perform. Another task? You have no idea what Dawson is talking about. He notices your confusion and shakes his head. No time to explain. Follow me. Then a fuzzy darkness overtakes your memories. In your campaign log, record that the Order's ritual was disrupted, and because Dagon did not wake, Dagon still slumbers. Resolution 1. You're somewhere else now, lying on your stomach on cold, damp stone. Your arms are held tight behind your back. You have no idea how you got here. As consciousness returns, your vision comes into focus. You crane your neck up to view your surroundings, but it's too dark to see anything inside your stone cell. I'll ask you one last time. Who sent you? A voice asks. It is deep and husky, like the croaking of a frog. You hear the familiar, cool baritone of Agent Dawson reply. Your breath smells awful. Ever hear brushing your teeth? Despite the sarcasm dripping from his words, his voice wavers ever so slightly. Your mockery only masks the fear that hides within, the voice replies. Very well, if you are no use to us, you will be the first to be sacrificed. Your vision continues to adjust. You can just barely make out Dawson's silhouette on the other side of the cell. He is kneeling before a metal hatch in the stone floor. An elderly robed figure presses a curved knife against Dawson's throat. Someone lifts the hatch, and Dawson's eyes go wide. He gives you one last despairing look, shakes his head slowly and deliberately, and quietly slides something across the stone floor. Then the hooded figure pushes him in. In the scuffle and the low light, nobody notices the car key that skitters to a halt directly next to you. You grab the key and stuff it into your pocket just before you are shoved forward. 2 more sets of cold, clammy hands grab your shoulders, and the hooded figure slides the knife up to your neck. All you can see of his face are his wide, unblinking eyes. Osiris, these ones were found in Dagon's lair as well, another voice explains to the elderly figure in the robes. We believe they are the ones snooping around Devil Reef. The man with the knife to your throat nods. Your turn, he declares. Tell us why you have come, and perhaps we will let you go. Who sent you? What have you seen? So I get victory X, which is a fair bit. I think I've got 1, 2 from those 2 locations. 3, 4 from the other 2 locations, and then 5 for the Apostle, which is great. There's a suspect enemy in the victory display, so I get to record the Gatekeeper has been defeated, and now I must decide, do I tell Osiris nothing, lie, or everything? Ooh. I think I just might lie. Why not? Why not? You can think of only one way out of this situation. The Order believes that you are poking around their business, so you will have to convince them that you don't know or care what they are up to. You lie as best you can, spinning a story that might convince them you are simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. And what of your unfortunate friend, your interrogator asks? You tell him that you have never met that man in your life. Perhaps you speak the truth, the man says, and you breathe a short-lived sigh of relief before he dashes your hopes. But it matters not. You've seen too much, and for that you must be silenced. Worry not, you will be joining our kindred soon. The metal hatch opens again. Inside you see nothing but darkness. Take what they have stolen to the lighthouse at once, Osiris commands one of the other robed figures. It is time to begin our great work. None will disrupt the Order's business ever again. Soon all will understand the natural order of life. Then he nods to your captors, and you are shoved forward. The clammy hands release you, and you are tumbling into darkness. The last thing you feel is your head striking cold stone. And then... ... Add a broken tablet token to the Chaos Bag. Okay, then I continue to Hidden Truths, which... yeah, this one is going to be important. As soon as your mind returns to the present, you begin formulating your plan, a plan to enter the realm of the Deep Ones and end their conspiracy once and for all. This is ridiculous. You know that, right? Harper asks. You nod. Of course it's ridiculous. You spent the last 2 days on the run, chased, hunted, tormented. But you've also spent the last 2 days recovering the memories you've forgotten. And what you've seen is something you can't possibly ignore. You've seen the deity the Esoteric Order of Dagon is named for, and you understand what the Order plans to do. The alignment of the celestial bodies in the sky, the steadily rising tides, the tumultuous fluctuating weather, the creatures emerging from the deep, all of it is tied together. You've seen it. There will come a flood, a great disaster to wipe out humanity, so only the deep remains. The great city in the reef shall rise once more and become the beating heart of all life on Earth. There are still gaps in your memory, but all this you know to be true. All of Innsmouth is consumed by this conspiracy. The Order controlled the town through its oaths and the secret wealth it hoarded from the deep. It was no wonder they treated outsiders like yourself with such scorn. You give Harper a knowing glare. She sighs and nods. I know. It's the only way. Together, the two of you plot your course. Abandoned ships still litter the harbor of Innsmouth. Under the cover of night, you must commandeer one of them, sail to Devil Reef, and descend once more into the antediluvian ruins in the depths below the Forsaken Islands. That is where the entrance to the city lies. Innsmouth lay. Your skin prickles with cold shivers as you utter the word aloud. Harper grimaces, though you can sense the determination behind her steely gaze. I'm going to see this mission through, Dawson. For you. You lay out all the information you've uncovered and the relics you've obtained despite the horrors arrayed against you. You know the way to Innsmouth Lay is sealed tight. There must be a way to gain entrance. Perhaps you already have the answers you seek. So if the Terror of Devil Reef is dead and the life cycle of a deep one is listed under memories, I do not have the Terror dead, so I cannot read that. If the Gatekeeper's been defeated, that's true. An investigator's deck contains at least one of the story assets achieved during the Devil Reef. I have not. So I don't have any of the special... Yep, nope, none of these special ones. That's going to be tough. All right, that's it. So I returned Thomas Dawson to the collection. He is now dead, unfortunately. And Alina Harper can come back to my deck. And I can now spend my experience. I have earned 5 this scenario. With my 5 from the last one, I am getting 2 copies of the Red Glove Man, and we are going into the Maelstrom. This is exciting. I will see you all for the epic conclusion next week. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.